Super, SpongeBob said. He was so excited his body slowly started to float, allowing his feet to levitate above the ocean floor. Well, I gotta mosey on back, Sandy said, turning to go. Now don't be late. Okay, see you later, SpongeBob said, waving goodbye. He continued to float, watching and waiting until Sandy disappeared. Then panic struck. Patrick! 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 SpongeBob yelled as he raced home. Turning around the corner, he jogged past his own orange pineapple home, past the tiki head lair of his neighbor Squidward, and approached a large rock at the other end of the street. Patrick! SpongeBob called. Patrick! Taking a nap on top of the rock was a pudgy pink starfish in blue Hawaiian shorts. This was Patrick Star, SpongeBob's best friend. Patrick, wake up! SpongeBob called as he bounced with glee. What's air? Patrick lifted up his green sunglasses and peered down at SpongeBob. Huh? He said with a yawn. What's going on? SpongeBob stood tall and announced. Well, I just met this girl and she invited me to a tea party and— Way to go, SpongeBob, the starfish interrupted, giving his buddy a hearty thumbs up. SpongeBob returned the thumbs up. Thanks, but get this. She wears a hat full of air. A hat full of hair? Patrick asked. No, air, SpongeBob corrected. Patrick's wide smile turned into a look of confusion. He puzzled over SpongeBob's statement for a moment and finally asked, Do you mean she puts on airs? SpongeBob shrugged his skinny shoulders. I guess so, he said. Patrick slid down the rock and stood in front of his pal. No problem, he said. Putting on airs is just fancy talk. If you want to be fancy, I can help. Really? SpongeBob said. Sure, Patrick replied, holding up one arm and sticking his little finger out. Now, if you want to impress her, just hold your pinky like this. The higher you hold it, the fancier you are. SpongeBob lifted a crooked pinky. How's that? He asked. Higher, Patrick commanded, thrusting his own pinky into the sky. SpongeBob followed suit, sticking his pinky up as far as his spindly arm would stretch. Like that? He asked in a pained voice. Patrick nodded. Now that's fancy. They should call you SpongeBob Fancy Pants. SpongeBob took out the map to Sandy's house and held it high above his head, pinky extended. Ready, Coach. Patrick rubbed his chin. Something's missing, he said. Looking over at Squidward's house, the hefty starfish spotted what he was seeking. Wait a sec, he said, bounding across his neighbor's front yard. Squidward popped his head out of his second-story window. Stay off my lawn, you blob, he yelled in a whiny voice. That goes for you too, SpongeBob. Hi, Squidward, SpongeBob replied. I'm going to a tea party. Like I care, Squidward retorted and slammed his window shut. Patrick jogged back over and handed a bouquet of bubble-tipped sea flowers to SpongeBob. I borrowed these from Squidward's garden, he said. Can't go to a girl's house without flowers. SpongeBob slapped his square forehead with his hand. Duh, I should have known that. Patrick winked. That's what you got me for. As the two buddies left Bikini Bottom and made their way toward Sandy's Treedome, Patrick continued to lecture on the finer points of going to a tea party. Good manners are important, SpongeBob, the starfish said. You should say yes and no and thank you.